right, everybody, welcome back live at DriveIn Shows, another edition. Hope everybody is doing well out there, enjoying these final days of July. How about that? Where'd July go? I don't know. Summer's too fast around here, isn't it? That is how I feel. Summer moves too quickly around here, but what can you do? Anyway, speaking of summer, we got a good summer show for you today. My first guest is a man I have not met before. I don't believe, Adam Epstein. Have we had you on before? I don't think we have. How are you?
I don't think so. How's it going?
Doing good, man. I know we have a couple mutual friends in the concert business, but you rolled out the Epstein or Epstein, by the way. We should get that straight.
It's Epstein.
Epstein, like Theo.
Exactly.
Okay, good to know. See, sometimes this stuff happens on the fly. The Big Beach Road Weekend Festival of Martha's Vineyard. It has been, obviously, like everything, messed up because of the pandemic, gone, but you now have a return date. Very exciting.
Yeah, well, first, we actually just completed a mini return with Tedeschi Trucks and Mo this past weekend on the Vineyard that went really well. And we decided, what the hell, we'll try to get a 22 festival lineup done and get it on sale while people are on the island. And so we just confirmed and announced a 25 band lineup for August 26th, 28 of 22 on Martha's Vineyard.
Talk about the lineup, man. You guys got a good one here. This is, dare I say, a stacked lineup you've put together.
Well, yeah, I had a friend who said to me that he was really disappointed I couldn't find any headliners. So, yeah, we have Beck, Wilco, the Avid Brothers, Krungbin, Jason Isbell, Lord Huron, Billy Strings, Lucy Dacus, Stars, Mount Joy, Lettuce. I mean, we got another, 20 bands below that. And then there are about another 10 bands that we haven't even announced yet, just because we're still working on some final details.
Whenever you have two of my favorite bands, Lord Huron and Jason Isbell, like 5 and 6 on that list, you've done quite the lineup.
Yeah, it feels great. It really does. It's we really wanted to put something really special out here and make it a nice intimate event. It's only 10,000 people, so this isn't like the size of like a Boston Calling. This is about a nice intimate experience on a beautiful island with great sun, beaches, and great food.
Let's get the nuts and bolts out of the way. You get a chance to buy tickets Friday, correct?
That's right. So yes, the tickets are on sale at noon on Friday. I hope I didn't screw that up. It might be 10, but but they're definitely on sale to the public on Friday.
This is not for those of you who have never taken this in. You can make you're one of those festivals you really make the full weekend out of, right?
Absolutely. One of the things about the Vineyard is that there's no 600 room massive resort. So it's all a bunch of boutique hotels that are all beautiful in their own way, but they range from campsites to true luxury. And so we've partnered with about 15 different hotels to create travel packages where you could buy your tickets and your hotel package at the same time in the same transaction just in an effortless way. And it's really important because there isn't a central hotel reservation system for the Vineyard like you might find in Boston, where you could go on hotels.com and book anything. Here, there's nothing like that. So we had to be that central reservation system for all of these individual hotels.
I've talked to a lot of music festivals over the past year and a half, 18 months, whatever, how long this pandemic's been going on. Nothing I have found annoys a festival producer, really disrupts their life more than a pandemic, I think we found. Is that about right?
When the air we breathe is somewhat questionable in terms of its safety, big gatherings just don't make any sense.
What has it been like? Because these things are not easy. The reason why you're really playing this one up for a summer from now is because these things are like a lot of work to put this all together. Give us a little insight into your life here, trying to put all these bands and get all these accommodations together.
Well, yeah. So beside the fact that it's a massive music festival with tons of bands and tons of people converging on one place, they're converging on an island where, generally speaking, the primary way to access it is a ferry. So it's not the kind of thing where there's a bridge. It's when we want to bring bands and the gear and the sound, lights, staging over, it's about putting semi-trailers on a ferry. Okay. and it becomes like air traffic control, trying to coordinate all these equipment, these semi trailers coming over, tour buses coming over. Everything's got to be orchestrated with military precision because the ferry doesn't wait for us. It runs when it runs. And so we have to make sure our vehicles fit on that ferry, whether it's a 53-foot semi or a 66-foot tour bus. That stuff's got to be coordinated long in advance because it's happening right at a time when thousands of people are going back and forth on those ferries as well. So it is an incredible operation that we have relished. It's both a nightmare and an exhilarating fun at the same time.
I can tell you're a high energy guy who feeds off that kind of stuff. I mean, it does get draining at points, right? I mean, you guys a lot of times trying to pull these logistics together. It must be draining at some times.
Of course it is, but it's the kind of thing that it also feeds you at the same time. When you're in the heat of this and you're mid-festival and all of this stuff is happening, you may be running on absolutely zero at that point, but you can't help but be invigorated by watching people around you who are not tired. They're exhilarated by the music, and that kind of stuff feeds me and it feeds my staff. I mean, we love that whole element of watching, especially more now than ever because of the pandemic. When you lose that part of your life and it's been your career, watching people and getting visceral enjoyment out of them sharing that experience with an artist on stage, it really changes everything. You can be running on empty and all of a sudden you just find that second wind, and then the third one, and then the fourth one, until it's over, and then you just break down.
What was that reaction like for you when the world stopped? Because that was, I'm sure you remember. I remember watching a basketball game and going, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
And, that seems to be the night for a lot of people. But what was it? What was it like for you? You've been around enough. That's not good for festivals.
No, it's not. We instantly canceled approximately 200 shows within the first 2 weeks. And of course, it was devastating. I mean, it's truly the only existential threat to our industry is a pandemic. And it put us all out of work. I mean, I kept our staff on as long as I could. We ended up keeping about half of our staff full time, but we didn't sit it out. We actually got busy. We built the first live entertainment venue, a socially distanced, COVID safety compliant venue in the Northeast. So we built what became known as the Yarmouth DriveIn. And we operated that and presented live music and entertainment from the end of July through the end of October. We had 50 concerts and like 60,000 people came out to see everybody from Bert Kreischer to Eliza Schlesinger to Mountjoy and Camp and Mo. It was great. It was a fun summer, even though we were all in lockdown and really trying to do great things at the same time. But watching people really appreciate live music again, was special. I mean, we had bands crying on stage because they were performing for the first time since March of 2020.
As somebody who went to one of those, I think the camp show, I think I took in, if I remember correctly, and I did a couple of the other drive. I think New Bedford followed suit with a drive-in that was similar. There were a few other ones that ended up popping around, but that for so many people, that was like the first time we got to see like a show that felt like a show. I remember telling people like the drive-in thing works. You go, you do the tailgate thing, and then you just go, kind of don't move. It's like you just set up, and it works. It felt like a show, and it wasn't quite like a real concert, but it was damn close.
Right. I mean, you could make eye contact with the talent. They could see you. There was that shared experience, and you were separated from your neighbors, but that kind of suspension of expectation was something that people bought into easily. It wasn't quite the thing where you could hug your neighbor and look them in the eye and sing along with them, but you could do it with the talent, and you could share that, and that was the thing that really was emotional for a lot of people, including me.
It strikes me how much you're a music fan. When does that payoff come for you after all this work goes into it? Is it like the encore of night 3, or like once the music starts, it's all a payoff from there? Explain that feeling to me.
You know what? Actually, the payoff is the morning of the second day.
Okay.
Before your open doors on the second day, and you've been through the first night and you've worked out all the kinks. Okay. Saturday is the day you can enjoy. Sunday, you're trying to figure out how you're closing it up, and you're wishing you could extend another 3 days. But that Saturday, right before opening, when there's a calm and the doors are about to open and everybody knows where they need to be and they're comfortable because they've learned exactly what they're doing and what they need to do. That's the day that you feel peace.
What is the goal when you bring all these artists together? Like, you know, an artist like crafts a set list and tries to get like a certain message across. I imagine you guys kind of look for certain artists, not necessarily the same sort of artist, but like you're trying to put together something. Is there like an art to that?
Well, I mean, you want the lineup to represent where you're doing it, right? And you want it to speak to the character of the location and the island here is. I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but Dukes County, I believe, is one of the poorest counties in Massachusetts. But it of course has this really incredible diversity of population. So you have the year-round residents, then you have people who own homes here and you spend a few weeks here. You have a summer tourist that stay in hotels, and you have people who come and spend a week here and they rent the same home every year. I mean, I have a friend whose family's been renting the same house for 30 years, the same week every summer. So but you have a wide range of socioeconomic diversity. You have racial diversity. So we really want to be a festival that can have and touch upon everything from Americana, soul, funk, country, and I think we touch on all of that, but we still find the common thread of audiences, of bands that speak sincerely to their audience. These are not vacant pop songs. These are artists with real integrity that have something to say and that we think they speak to the Vineyard.
So you want you personally say, I want Jason Isbell for this thing. Walk me through that. How does that work? You start tweeting at him. Who do you call? Give the person who's out in the business the idea.
So it's about relationships with us and the people that represent and manage Jason's business, and so he has an agent, and we contact the agent and say, we're big fans. We really think we'd love to have him in a headline kind of position on this festival because we think he's a perfect match for what our audiences are looking for, and we think that he would find that this is a place that he would love to spend some time. So, and those kind of conversations happen hundreds of times before you end up getting to the point of finding the lineup that actually works together, and then finding out who wants to play with who wants to play before who, and hopefully finding that gel where bands want to play with each other. I mean, that's the secret sauce. That's the thing that we really are trying to get to. Bands that respect each other and have that affinity and interest in collaboration. We want to be the place that they discover something about themselves by sharing something with others.
That's what I thought has always been so cool about like the Newport Folk Festival. So many of those artists for so many years have taken a lot of pride in getting up there. I used to love that about that particular show. And you're right. I guess that's a goal of a festival. Very cool. So you have all these bands today. Have you guys even broken down? Do you know who's playing night one, night two, or are you guys still kind of ironing that out?
It's still being worked out. These are all people that said we want to be on the Vineyard this weekend. We're working with each of them to figure out how that schedule is going to come together. It is one more piece of that air traffic control kind of thing where when can you get here? What's your travel looking like? We're talking 13 months in advance. So there's a lot of variables, but the commitment that each of these artists have made is firm, and we are the lineup we've announced is the lineup that's happening, plus other acts that we have not announced yet.
Quick little sidebar. All these acts you've reached out to, you just gave us a little look into like the initial phone call, and I know those things go back and forth for hours sometimes. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Somebody can't get a flight back to the sea. That's going to be tough after putting the time in on that and then saying, all right, on to the next one. Who do we like next?
Yeah. It's it's a lot of it has to do with everybody wants to know who else is playing, and when you don't have anybody confirmed, you're kind of trying to articulate a vision for what the festival is, so that the artist, even if they don't know what other talents in the lineup, they say, okay, I can get behind that. And when you sold that vision, and we sold the vision of what it's like to play on the Vineyard, where it's not like the playground of the rich and famous. That's a fallacy that people believe that it's like a Hamptons thing. This is anything but. I mean, this is a place with no McDonald's. There's no national chain hotels. There's no national chain anything for that matter. I mean, if I have to get a hammer and nails, I have to go to the Five and Dime. Okay, so that whole ethos of that small, non-commercial experience is what this island's about. If I want to go to Home Depot, I got to take a ferry.
I hope you don't envision yourself doing too much hammering and nailing at the new site.
Well, I think we got it down now. We know how many hammers and nails we need.
That's too funny. Have you felt like I do? It seems like people, all my music going friends, all my concert going friends, they all kind of have the same mentality right now. I'm probably going to buy these things a year away just because I'm so excited to see live music, and pretty much everybody who comes around, I'm going to go try and see because I'll never take it for granted again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the other. I mean, the other thing about the pandemic that if there's a positive, it's that we don't take things for granted anymore. We don't take these things that we just did in the casual course of a day for granted, and it's something I never will again. We really need to understand that we all work hard, especially in our industry. Especially, there are so many people that work behind the scenes of what I do that nobody else. Those are here. Okay, work behind the scenes so thousands of people can share that experience with an artist on stage, creating something that is truly original. I mean, live music is improvised implicitly right in front of you, and that the audience sees that, but they don't see everything else happening around it. Yeah. And that's the cool thing, that as somebody who works in this business, I'm to see all those people collaborating to create a holistic, festival is a really special experience to enjoy.
The thing that always drew me to festivals was I've never seen like the same festival. Sometimes you go to see a concert and maybe an artist will stick to a similar set list. And even those shows, there tends to be something different. But with a festival, there's always some sort of unexpected, somebody jumps up with somebody else. There tends to be, you just never know what you're going to get. Is that something part of this that's always drawn you to the festival world?
Yeah. I mean, it is that interest in, once again, figuring out who might be interested in collaborating with somebody else. I mean, I want to see the unexpected. I mean, I want to hedge that. There are some unexpected things I want to witness. There are some unexpected things I don't ever want to see on this site. I hope it happens on stage musically. And that's about the extent of what kind of surprises I'd like to see here.
I think you're secure enough in your position. What's the worst? What's the toughest thing you've ever run into? Pandemic doesn't count. What's like the on site? Is it weather? Is it artist who was terrible?
Weather is always terrifying. I mean, the fork, like we just did. We had Tedeschi trucks on the vineyard this past weekend. 2 sold out shows. And so set up socially distanced. So everybody had an 8x8, box seat on the ground for groups of 4, and everything was perfect. The weather forecast was stunning, clear as day on the weather app. It was just sun all week until Sunday morning, when all of a sudden, instead of on my app, it said clouds, and then it said lightning. Okay, lightning is the thing in the festival world that you just never want to see. So that's a surprise I don't want to see. But yeah, those are the things that are the most challenging, is that when you have an open field without really enough cover to cover the thousands of people on the property, you have to have a plan for where you're going to put them if you have lightning strikes within 10 miles. So yeah, I don't want lightning strikes or tornadoes. They're not my favorite.
We'll take those right out of the equation. Very good. Adam Epstein, Beach Road Weekend, putting this thing on. We're talking Friday, August 26th to Sunday, August 28th of 2022. It's exciting. What do you want for people who've never been there? What's kind of that sales pitch to get the music fan, but the newbie to your festival?
Well, that's a great question, because we know that people don't know how to get here. So we've tried to answer those questions at our website at beachroadweekend.com, where you can pick your hotel package that includes festival tickets all in one. So you don't have to search forever looking for where you're going to stay. You can take care of that right at our website instead of having to buy tickets and then figure out your travel. You can do it all together at beachroadweekend.com. But it's really easy. The ferry is a piece of cake. It's a 45-minute trip for like $9. So it's not like, this ferry is the size of a cruise ship, but it's all of $9 per passenger per direction. So it's cheap. It's easy to get here. You get and you spend a few days on a beautiful island with great beaches and great food.
Parents always ask, is this where we're ditching the kids at home, or do we bring the kids? What do you say?
No, we want them to bring the kids. There are kids price tickets. We are really there's nothing about this lineup that is anything but family friendly. And we had a great presence with children and families on our site. That was one of the best parts of 2019, the first year, is that I saw parents laying on their backs, listening to music, staring at the stars, with their kids laying down on their backs next to them. Like they weren't like hyper like concerned about their children because they knew that they were safe on our site. And we put that safety and comfort at the forefront of what Beach Road Weekend's about. We want people to be able to chill and not be hyper vigilant and not have to worry about the things that you might find on the mainland. This is a peaceful place where everybody gets along.
All right, very good. Adam Epstein, rapid fire for the final 60 seconds. Here we go. This is how we end the show. Favorite, first thing that comes to mind. Favorite musician?
Wilco.
All right, first album you ever got?
Oh, Eagles, The Long Run.
Favorite album of all time?
Heart of Saturday Night, Tom Waits.
All right. Favorite venue that you have not been associated with? Something that you were just a guest at?
Carnegie Hall.
Favorite city to see music in?
New York.
Best concert of all time?
Fare thee well, Grateful Dead.
All right. And best professional advice you ever received for all the youngsters out there?
Keep trying. Like don't. I'm blowing that one. Just keep trying to find work.
And know where to get the hammer and nails, right?
Yeah, that can help. Be resourceful. Be resourceful and don't take no for an answer.
Very good. Adam Epstein, I know you're a busy man, especially you guys just dropped this news today, so I know you're getting called off the hook, but thanks for taking a few minutes with us. We'll see you. I can't wait to get back to the festival, man. I'll check it out. This will be fun.
Hey, it's going to be great. Thanks a lot, man. Peace.
All right, there you have it. Adam Epstein, Beach Road Weekend, big music festival. How about that? And that's how long these things take to put on, right? I don't think people realize that. Like, I remember talking to somebody, Boston Calling was about to make a big announcement, the Boston Calling Music Festival, and they talked with a music insider, and they were like, yeah, it is coming, but it's not going to be for this summer or this fall. Like, it's going to be the next one. That's how far these things are behind because of the pandemic. It's like it takes a lot of work and a lot of moving pieces to put these festivals together. So this one they're all excited about, and they should be excited. It's great, but this is for the summer after this one. That's what they're putting tickets on sale for. But boy, it feels good just to put tickets on sale and get prepared for a real festival. I know that's what Adam and everybody at Beach Road Weekend is feeling. So very cool. Another great show, another fun music guy to talk to you right there. My name is Drew Moholland, live at Drew's house. Hope everybody's doing well. Peace.